Hey there, future professionals. Welcome to Employability Plus, the channel where you'll find everything you need to build the skills that get you hired. Why-
Hello, friends. Welcome to Employability Plus. A new day, a new topic with you, Arun. Today, we are going to untap the unlimited power of Power BI, more specifically, Power Queries. So, that is in store for today. What are we waiting for? Let's get down to business. Let's start. So, in the previous session, I did an introduction to Power BI. I think guys would have, experienced the introduction or the power of Power BI to some extent. Now the real power awaiting you. Let's discover the real power of Power BI. We are going to start it with Power Query. That is the agenda for today. Let's get started. So when I say Power Query in Power BI is a very important and most significant tool. Reason being, we can able to connect to various data sources through Power Query, be it a text file, be it an Excel file, or it can be a cloud services, so on and so forth. All these files, all the data sources can be connected to Power Query, and we can transform and prepare the report the way we want it. Right now, it is part of ETL. So as you remember other day, I have gave an acronym. TABS. It was my own acronym, right? TABS stands for transformation, analysis, visualization, and sharing the data. When it comes to Power Query, I am not the architect for this particular acronym. It has been there for long, and it is ETL, right? ETL stands for extract, transform, and load. That is the main objective of a Power Query, which has been nicely included in this ETL concept, right? So we are going to see, how we can make best use of Power Query. Because when you have decided to, do a data analysis, it's very important that we need to master the tools which are important to do that, right? Now, let's move on. I'm going to, introduce an analogy, the way I have did it last time for Excel with Power BI, and also the public speaker with Power BI. Like this, I just come up with my own, observation. This is nothing but, it helps you when you sit for an interview. If you are a person who's, going to give an interview on Power BI, for you to connect the dots, I'm saying remember things in a way so that it is easy for you to express yourself in front of people. So you feel comfortable. You don't, get into the technical languages, jargons of Power BI and get lost. Okay, so when you make it very simple with your own understanding, always you can convert those understanding into the real information. I'm saying the information which you wanted to tell the interview. So I just come with something very interesting, which is house cleaning with data cleaning, right? You might be wondering what is this house cleaning to do with the data cleaning, right? I will just try to connect with the dots here, right? When someone is coming to your house, like for a visit, what you do generally, we just put everything, we just sort everything, whatever relevant items together, right? The let's say the remote control goes near to the TV, right? Or your spoons are arranged in an order, not everywhere. Whatever you find all over the place, you just put it and sort it, separate it so that it looks appealing to the people when they visit your place. Similarly, when you have a data points, okay, it is very important we sort the way organize in this language we call it as an organizing the data points, right? Separating the data from the erroneous information, something which is no longer needed. Some error information has to be removed or you know to be taken out, and then you need to organize the informations which we wanted for further analysis in a data cleaning. Similarly, what we do in a house cleaning, the objective of house cleaning to remove dust, dirt which are not needed to make the place more livable. right? In data cleaning, we might have certain, duplicates. Duplicates in the sense it can be something redundant information, which is something over repeating, right? You don't need it. You need it only once. If it is coming multiple times, it's better to, remove it. So removing duplicates is removing dust, dirt, and all. And inconsistencies. The data is not consistent. When I say inconsistency, let's say state is, you have mentioned as Andhra Pradesh. Now, in other places, it may be AP mentioned. In other place, you might have come across the term Andhra is mentioned in that. So it is an inconsistent. Data is not consistent, right? So that has to be removed. You have to make it as a consistent data. You don't need to remove it in the sense you have to make it more consistent so that reports will be accurate, right? Similarly, irrelevant data has to be taken out, which are no longer needed in your thing. Some information may not be required, so that has to be removed. So to make your data more accurate, attention to detail. So when I say importance of house cleaning, no area should be overlooked. Similarly, you need to ensure that no missing values in your data set. Okay, no outliers. Okay, when I say outliers, just for new people, in case if you're not clear with outlier, let's say you have a range of data which is starting from 10 to 100. Your all the values are between 10 to 100. Suddenly you have a value which is 10,000. We consider that as an outlier because it can influence your average value, right? So if you find something missing values, if you have inconsistencies, that has to be removed in a data set to make it more interesting. And what are the benefits out of it? If you do that, your function, your living space will be free from clutter. Similarly, if you are cleaning your data with unwanted things, if you remove from the data set, what happens? It makes for a better analysis. Your report may be more meaningful, right? Now here we use the tools like vacuum mop, and in Power Query is the best, most powerful tool which we have here, in Power BI to clean it, right? Now, if you are an already an Excel user, connecting the dots to Power BI is quite easy, right? You can easily transfer your knowledge of Excel to Power BI. Let me show you before we get on to business, get down to business and start working, have an hands-on experience, right? Now, when I say Power Query via Excel, now you have something called uploading a data, right? In action, when you want to upload, because you are to in order to analyze, in order to do an analysis, it's very important we upload the data. So in Power BI, we use a get data option where we upload data from various sources. In Excel, it has an other alternatives. Like we have go to file, we go to file, and then we do open and get external data and all those stuff. Similarly, you have a data profiling where you work on the quality of the data or profiling of the data. All those things will be done through data profiling, right? Whether the values are distinct or unique and all those things, right? Now, in column profile, we do this one in Power BI. Similarly, in Excel, we do in countif conditional formatting, right? Now, I don't explain entire thing because it takes a lot of time. You can go through this slide, you can pause it, okay, and you can go through what are the things I want to tell you, like how it is easy if you are an Excel user to master Power BI. I'm going to make it very simple. Power BI. That is my main objective of this, starting this particular thing, because people think that Power BI, they think it's quite different from Excel, or they think that it is not for them. It is not their cup of tea, or it's not, they cannot do this one or something like that. But please remove all those things, right? Power BI is quite easy. You can easily master it. The way we have done it in Excel and other things, we can easily transfer those knowledge to Power BI, right? Now, these are the things we have, right? So you can, I hope you have gone through this one. You just pause the video and you can go through it, how we have connected the dots between Excel and Power BI, right? Let's begin with uploading the data. That is where all the George is there, right? So far, we have been talking for some time now. Let's start with, knowing is good. Let's start with doing, which is application of Power BI, right? Let me start. Folks, I hope you have already downloaded the Power BI for desktop, right? Which I suggested earlier in my, introduction session, right? Please open that, which I already have it with you. It will come like this. When you open the file, okay, Power BI, when you open it, it comes like this. First option you'll have is you can upload the information, the Excel file in various format. In the sense, not only Excel file, you can upload data from various sources, right? Either you can start with a blank report, or you can straight away, if you know that your data is in Excel workbook, okay, you can straight away start with Excel workbook, or in case if you think your data is in another format or in a folder, right? Then you can go for get data from other sources, right? It comes here, get data from other sources. Then you can go to get data. Here you can upload data from any format. It can be text, right? It can be SharePoint folder. You can upload it from any format. Also, there is an option where you can upload multiple files at the same, in the same stretch, at the same go. You can do it with folder option. It can be done, right? You can just upload as a folder, not necessary it has to be in a separate file. It can be in a folder as well, right? That is the folder option. Let's do it manually. In the sense, first let's start with uploading one file. Let's see how it works. Right now I'm going and uploading an Excel file, Excel dataset. It is there. You might have it in your own place, right? Just locate the file where you have this file. These three files I'm going to share it along with this with this video. You can download it. Okay, it is a database which has been created, a random one, right? You can use it for your analysis. It is an e-commerce data set, right? It will be useful for you, so you can just take out one. Right now I'm going to upload one Excel file. Open. Folks, please remember, if you know basics of data, Power BI is not that. I keep giving this confidence so that you don't get overwhelmed by Power BI. You should not, right? Now, coming back to this one, you have the data set. Now it says file origin, which is the origin of from where you are going to take delimiter, comma. It takes automatically. If you are uploading a CSV file, comma separated value file, it may be useful. Here, being an Excel, it just we can load it. Now the data types are defined. If you see, this is order ID. All those data types, it will be defined in Power BI based on what? Based on the first 200 rows. Now you can say based on entire data set also. But if you know that your data is proper, right? You know that whatever is given in the first 200 rows is going to repeat in other rows. Don't go for based on entire data set. You can go for based on first 200 rows, so that it can reduce the time you consumed for uploading the data, right? So you can go for this one. There are two options: either load, transform data. If you are very clear with, let's say, you are already comfortable with Power Query, always we can go for transform data. But I just do a loading the data first to show you the front end tool, okay, and then we'll transform it, right? Either you can transform directly also, but I'm going to load this time, okay, so that I can show you the front end option of it. I'm loading the data. Now when I loaded the data, you can able to see the data is getting loaded here. It is getting loaded. See, again, it depends on your system speed. There are multiple things, multiple things can constitute for this kind of delay in case of loading a file and all those stuff. So you don't need to worry on that aspect, especially when you are working on a large data set. Okay, small data set you can do with Excel itself, right? When you're working on a large data set, you have to have the patience, right? Patience is the key for data analysis, right? Now this data has been loaded here. Okay, this data has been loaded. These are the fields which are there, but this is not a Power Query window. This is a front end window. That if you remember, I have shown you this one in the PPT, where you have something called report view is here, and you have table view, you have model relationships, and DAX, data analysis expressions. Okay, you can write your own formulas. And today with Chat GPT, formula writing is not a big deal at all, right? Now, so report view, table view, and all those stuffs are there here. This is a front end, but our focus is not front end. We could have directly went to transforming the data, as I said earlier, but I resisted so that you have a first view of design view, I'm saying the front end view, okay, which is very important for creating appealing, graphs, dashboards, all those report trackers and everything, right? But now let's move on to the business, which is, transforming the data. That is where Power Query comes into play, right? Now the transform data, we are going to transform data. Now Power Query gets open. This is what, this is where we wanted to come at the beginning only, right? Right. Now, before I start with this, to doing certain activities on data cleaning aspect, let me, start with, doing one more thing, which is we have added only one file, right? I'm going to show you how to upload a folder so that instead of uploading one by one, how can we, upload everything together? That's what I'm going to show you. It's nothing but, new source, more, right? Here, I'm going to upload folder. I'm going to select folder as an option, right? Browse. You have to locate your own thing, right? Right. So data set, I'm uploading all because I have three files in that. Instead of, uploading individually, I have uploaded the folder. Right? Okay. All three files are coming. In this, I have already uploaded dataset one, right? So now I'm not going to combine all these three things. Please remember one thing. If you are uploading three different data files, which has similar column count, I'm saying similar, column counts or similar data, then you can always combine and transform data. You can combine everything together as one file. That's an option. But in this case, my files are different. All three files are different. Not has similar data fields or has similar counts or similar data or not same data in fact. Right. So what I'm going to do instead of combining is an appending, adding all into one file, which we are not going to do. Right. We are going to have it separately three files. So I'm going to use transform data option. Okay. Then all three files have come here. Now, out of which the first file I already have. So I'm not worried about the first file, which is this, right? First one I already have. So I'm going to talk about this dataset 2. I'm going to take only dataset 2 and 3. So how to, bring this here is nothing but you can just right click on the content part, add as a new query, and then click on the CSV file. It becomes a table. Click on that CSV file. It comes as a table. Then you can rename this one as whatever it is. Like since it is a dataset 2, of ABC, remove the remaining informations and keep only dataset ABC, dataset 2. Now the data is ready. Similarly, go to dataset, take the third one, right click on this, add as a new query, click on the CSV file, right, and then remove unwanted informations. I'm saying the name for making the name clear to you, remove that. Right now the data is ready. All three data sets have come in one go. Assume that we have taken everything in one go, not individually like what we did earlier. It has been the case when you're working on a multiple data files. You have to have this habit to upload as a folder itself, rather do it individually. Perhaps that saves a lot of time, right, of yours. Now let's delete this one, not required anymore, because we have uploaded all information from that. Okay, so that can be deleted now. We don't need that, right, anymore. So we have all three data sets with us, right? The first and foremost thing, okay, especially when you have uploaded the data in Power BI, understand the quality of the data. That is a very important thing before you process anything. The quality of data is important. So what you have to do here is you have to click on just Just a moment. Yeah. So, so we have to click on yes. So sorry for the inconvenience. So what I thought is whether the recording is there stopped. I was a little confused. Now, anyways, so coming back to this one, so we were discussing about the first thing which you need to do once your data is ready, right? That is what we were discussing, right? So where is the Power Query view? This is where Power Query view. The first thing you have to do is go to View option. Understand the quality of the data. Very important. You need to see the column quality, column distribution, and column profile. This is very important when you uploaded the data. First is column quality. Column quality will give you an information whether data is valid, whether there is any error in the data or data field is empty. Now look at this data order ID, all are valid information, all are valid. Okay, so error 0%, emptiness there is no empty data. But if you come this side, okay, you have some empty values. You have empty value. So what is the percentage of empty? 7% empty. So you need to find out the missing values and you can replace those values also, which we are going to discuss. Anyways, we can replace it. But however, I just want to tell you at this point of time, you can identify whether your data has an error or empty by clicking on the column quality. That is very important after you upload the data. Similarly, you can, yeah, here also you can see some empty columns, accordingly the information. So here also you have some empty, right? It talks about only empty things, right? Values which are empty, right? Folks, there is a difference between an empty and null value. I'll tell you the difference between that. Make it very clear on that. Let's say you are sending a questionnaire to someone for filling the information, and then it is not applicable to them. Okay, it is not applicable to them, which becomes basically a not applicable to them, right? Right. That becomes a null value, which means that you have given the provision to them, but they are not eligible to enter those information. Right? Let's say employee email address. Let's say professional email address. Somebody may be an unemployed, may not have a professional email address. That value they are not unable to give it to you. So they have not chosen that option. So it becomes an NA, becomes an M, what do you call your null value. When it comes to empty, they deliberately they may have chosen not to answer those questions, right? So you might have a difference in that, right? Now let's understand further on this data thing, right? By using what column distribution. Let's remove this one, not required at this point of time. Let's take column distribution and column profile. I'll tell you what it is. Let's go to size of each dresses, right? Now here in this case, if you have seen this one size, you have something called 11 distinct and 0 unique, right? Now what it says to you, what it says, look at this data set just a moment. Now let me explain this thing. Now what it says 11 distinct and unique. When you click on column distribution, you will get this option called distinct and unique. What's the difference between distinct and unique? Many people might have a question like, the distinct also it is different, unique also it is different from other sources. So why do we have a distinct and why we call it as a unique? In this case, 11 distinct and 0 uniques, right? 0, right? Now, let's say in another place, let's keep this as an option so that you'll understand. Yeah, this is the best option because we have one unique. 8 distinct and one unique. So what is this 8 distinct? You have 8 different materials here. The bottom, you have sari, you have 8 different materials here. So these are distinct values because each are different from another. Kurta is different from Western dress. Everything is, every one are different from each other. So 8 distinct. So what is this unique? Other 7 has duplications, which means this is distinct. Kurta is distinct comparing to other categories. But there are many values which has kurta as a category. Many line items have kurta as category, right? Similarly, set also has many items as as duplication. But when it comes to bottom, this entire data set, there is only one. coming as a bottom. So that is unique. I hope you understood the difference between a unique and distinct. Distinct is it is different from other categories. So you might have 8 distinct values, but you may have only one unique value, which is not having any duplication, right? In this case, we have taken only top 1,000 rows. If you see here, this entire data set has taken only top 1,000, not entire data. Please remember this one, not entire data set, because it takes a lot of time. So what it assumes is, house, if you're okay with that, if you know that 1,000, if it is good, it is good, then you can select that option. Or you can right click here, you can you can select another option, which is column profiling based on entire data set, but it takes a lot of time. Suggest you, I'm leaving it to you to decide whether you go with profiling of top 1,000, because top 1,000 can cover, even it's sample, it's basically a sample, right? So it may be true most of the times for your entire data set, right? Or you can go with entire data set, doesn't make any difference. But this is the difference between distinct and unique. Now, this is only for column distribution. Now, if I remove column distribution, okay, this will go, you have uh, what you call the statistics. Here you have 1,000 count, you have 8 distinct one, all in one place, right? Although minimum maximum has no relevance to this particular data set, but still I want to tell you that what is the difference, what is column profile. Now, how do we have this in Excel? In Excel, you have something called, let's say, yes, here, data profiling. This is what we are seeing now. So column profile. Now, Excel, we can use pivot tables for getting the unique values. You can use pivot table, or you have a formula called unique, or you can use counting formulas. There are various things where you can, find out the unique or distinct data in the data set. Also the quality of it, right? So quality is this, where you know the error, right? If error option can be used in Excel for this, right? Similarly, column distribution is here where we find the distinct unique. So these are the important aspects when you are working on data. Once you have uploaded the data set, immediately go to view option and do this analysis. Very essential. Clear? I hope it is very clear with these concepts. Now let's move on. So see, my objective here is to not build, uh, go in a fast manner, so that easy to cover all topics. Now objective is to make you learn. So that is why sometimes it takes time, right? My apologies for this. So I want to make the concepts very clear to you, so that you can uh, use it for your own data analysis, right? Now let's move on. So now that you know this concept, okay, let's move on. Removing duplicates. Other next thing we are going to see for today is removing columns, rows, and removing duplicates. In here in Excel, we have an option called removing duplicates, right? We have an option. Now in this case, when you decide to remove duplicates from your data set, please remember one thing. In this case, duplicates have to be let's say, have to be a column which has unique values, all distinct values. The distinct values and unique values should match in a data set. I'm saying in a particular column for doing the removing duplication option. Right? Please remember this. Now, if I click, for me, order ID is unique as per my understanding, which I'm going to test it now. Status is not unique because shift may be repeated multiple times. I guess there are many values may get repeated multiple times. That would be a scenario, right? And for order fulfillment also may have certain duplications, and other columns also has duplications. How do we know whether these are having duplications? Just click on column distribution. Okay, you will always have distinct and unique not matching. This is distinct, all distinct, there is no unique, right? Zero. Here it is one unique. If it is eight distinct, eight uniques, then it's not having any duplicates. But when it comes to order ID, we can test it now. Not order ID, the order ID. Look at this data. Here I have duplicates. Okay, here order ID also I have duplicates, now which is 943, unique is 900. So here, this is the column I have to test for removing duplicates. You need to be very clear where you have to. You cannot do it with names. You cannot do with age. Okay, you have to find out something. For if you are a person who is in the college, I'm saying if your student ID is a unique ID. So in this case, I know 943, 900. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here and say remove duplicates. Right click here, remove duplicates. Now this 943, 900, what happens? It becomes 900 distinct and 900. You're going to see this now. When I remove it, it all both will be equal. Here, yes, it becomes 1000 distinct, 1000 unique. You're getting my point? So the reason is this profiling is done by 1000 rows. That is the reason. Now it has adjusted. So it has become 1000. Now no longer there is a duplicates. No longer duplicates. No duplicates you could find here because it is 1000 distinct, 1000 unique because all numbers not repeating again. Right? So I'll stop here. I'll create one more video. Okay, so that your understanding will be easy and you can see it 3 times. Now, what we have learned in this video is we have learned how to, uh, upload dataset individually, right? How to upload as a folder. After you upload, okay, how to, analyze the quality of the data. And I also use certain, analogies, how to, what is data cleaning with the house cleaning, just connecting the dots so that you will remember those facts. It's about mind mapping, right? And similarly, I did something like, connected the dots with Excel too, so that you can transfer your knowledge of Excel to Power BI, right? So that is the agenda for today. I think I have done that clearly. Now we are going to move forward. I'm going to release another video where we are going to take this understanding on data cleaning more forward, right? Thanks for watching this, and do subscribe so that you stay connected. I'll make things very simple. Yes, it will take 10 minutes more than any other video you would find in internet, but your understanding, let me tell you, assure you that it will be up than any other place. Thank you.